overwhelming how everything was really expensive in price. And then I learned about people and how the $69 million sale was the catalyst of the whole NFT season. And I started learning that you can actually own a picture online and that you can't really copy and paste it. You can't really screenshot it and use it. You only like there is technology behind it. You can make money off of it. So at first I thought I wanted to be a trader, to be honest. So I thought like this is a great opportunity to trade and learn how to do this and make money and learn. But what really got me to like stick around and decide to quit everything was how much fun the people were having while working on new stuff and making money. I really remember this very vividly. I was the first, one of the first in my country to learn about it. I was seeing cartoon PFPs, people having fun, people making money while having fun, making friends. And I remember one person who had a frog PF. It wasn't any project that is known now. It was a different one, but he had a frog PFP, and he was like, "Is how you can make friends in a Discord server and how much the Discord server is active." And I was like, wow. So if you can make good conversation, if you can hype things up and have fun, it means this is going to be successful. So and that was how it used to work back in the day, because it was very similar to how meme coins work now. So if everything is hyped up, it means it was going to succeed, but it was NFTs rather than the meme coins. So I got super passionate about it. I'm a very social person, so I love people. I love talking to people. I love understanding everything about them. So I got super passionate about it, and I started building everything on X, which was Twitter back in the day.
Yeah. And what did you initially start building? Is it and we'll dive obviously more into what you're doing now, but is what you're doing now, what you initially started with, or was there any other projects you maybe got involved with and started working on initially?
I love this question because a lot of my current followers, with the people that interact with me now, are new people who didn't know me back in the day. But I have worked with over 40 plus projects and individual, more than 50. And I have tried to start more than 2 to 3 things of my own in the past. I have tried to start multiple things, and they didn't completely fail, but I took a bit of everything and put it into what I'm building now. But I have tried. I had a kind of a startup, but it wasn't really a startup because I was freelancing and I built a team around my name. So it was Marianne and the team. So I try to put a name to it just so it becomes an entity. So we were also doing community management, but I was executing back in 2021. So I was mainly the CM and executing, and with a team of mods and collab managers. But that changed, and then I was freelancing on my own, sometimes without the team, sometimes they only wanted individuals. I also worked with some projects as an employee. I started a daily spaces show that lasted for 10 months. I started a sort of an engine, a sort of a course that helped people, but it wasn't a course that was written. It was a constant live calls with people to help them grow their brand. Um, it worked, but it wasn't sustainable. So I tried multiple things, and now working with CDFI, still working on consulting and marketing with some projects, and ultimately building Kiwi.
Nice. Yeah. And the reason why I asked that is because, a common theme I've definitely discovered in the space is that anyone who's building really anything has kind of tried to build a lot of other things. I think that's just a general thing, not even just in crypto, but just broader when it comes to the entrepreneurship aspect of things. But with crypto, the themes and the things that are happening in the space move so quickly. I feel like there's so many different kind of cookie jars that we've all stuck our hands into. So with Kiwi today, what ultimately led you into more of the kind of branding aspect? It seems just from my quick glance at everything that it's definitely more on the kind of social and branding aspect of things versus the technical, which I do think is a really great thing in this space because at the end of the day, something that we've talked a lot about on this podcast and in various other places is that this space is basically just filled with a lot of devs and technical people, and that is a great thing, but it also means that our message can't get spread quite as easily. So what's kind of led you towards the other side of the spectrum with more communication?
I was always a people's person, so I was always interested in speaking in public. I was always in leadership positions in NGOs and some sort of organizations and workshops. I love dealing with people. I was in a really cool club when I was younger where I had a leadership position where I needed to advise a lot of people who were younger than me based on my experience and take care of them and prepare games where these games needed to have a sort of a learning aspect to it. And as I'm saying these things, you can immediately notice that it is kind of very similar to how you need to attract people to an NFT or general Web3 community. So you need to entertain them. You need to be very entertaining. You need to know how to use the right words to attract people who are very difficult. So I used to deal with teenagers, and I was still a teenager myself. So it was like 2 years. I was 2 years older than them, and I had to deal with them. It was kind of a Girl Scouts things, but Girl Scouts in my country is very different than in the U.S. and America in general. So it's a very, very advanced and developed organization where people learn so much. So the hardest thing I've ever done was being a teenager and needing to have other teenagers listen to me, be entertained, and not think that everything is lame and everything is boring and like, what are you even doing, girl? Because like, you need to let them play games, but without them feeling like you're a fool or like you're a boring person because they think they're too cool for everything at that age, 14, 15. So I was really into these things. I was really into understanding how these people can get interested in something. How can I convey a message through something that can entertain this specific target audience? So I was kind of doing marketing and copywriting and communications and guerrilla marketing since I was a child without even noticing that I was doing that. And I was always very, very passionate about that. I was even like always a sort of a promotion leader or class president. I don't know what you guys call it when I was back in school because I love taking care of the students, listening to them, hearing what's bothering them. How can we make it better? How can we improve the class? How can we improve everything that we're doing? How can we make school fun? So I always loved people. I always loved understanding how their brain works. How can I appeal to a class of 30 people, knowing that each one of them has different needs and different interests, and combining all of those together and finding their common goal, which is actually to survive school because it was very boring. So I was always that kind of person, loved that. And so coming into Web3 and understanding that every single project needs to rely on community to succeed because in web 2 it's very different. In web 2 you need to have a good product, good investors. You just need to build your company very slowly, very carefully, and then the community comes later. The community comes later after they use your product, after they're interested in your product. But here it's different. Here the community can get very, very tough on you if you're selling something and the price doesn't go up. So you need to focus on short term and you need to focus on a long term product that is going to keep the sharks and whales into coming into your project. So it is much more complex. It's basically a mixture of teenagers and adults and older people and middle aged men, middle aged women. So it's a larger spectrum, but it's much, much more interesting on that scale.